Next, Introduction. In this lesson, we will learn how to delete a student from our database management system using Python and MySQL. Deleting records is a crucial operation in database management, and understanding how to perform this action safely is vital for maintaining data integrity. We will walk through the steps required to establish a connection to the database, execute a delete query, and confirm the deletion. Don't worry if this feels new at first. Now we're on understanding database deletion. Before we dive into the code, it's important to understand what deleting a record from a database entails. When we delete a student from our system, we remove their information from the database. This operation must be performed carefully to avoid unintentional data loss. The SQL command used to delete records is delete. The syntax for deleting a record typically looks like this: deletion uses a delete request as shown in the sample on this slide. In our case, we will be deleting a student record from a table called students. Let's move on to setting up the environment. To perform the deletion, ensure you have the following. First, Python installed on your machine. Also, the MySQL server running and accessible. Also, a database with a students table containing student information. Finally, the MySQL connector Python package installed. You can install it using the samples on screen. Walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. Now, connecting to the database. We begin by establishing a connection to our MySQL database. Below is an example code snippet that demonstrates how to connect to the database. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. Make sure to replace your username, your password, and your database with your actual MySQL credentials. Let's move on to executing the delete command. Once connected to the database, we can execute the delete operation. To delete a student, we will use their unique identifier, often the student ID. Here's how you can perform the deletion. Deletion uses a delete request as shown in the sample on this slide. In this function, we prepare a delete statement and execute it using the cursor. The commit method is called to save the changes to the database. Confirming the deletion, let's dig in. To confirm that the student has been successfully deleted, you can execute a select query to check if the student still exists in the database. This sample defines a function. Review the implementation on the slide. This function checks for the existence of a student by their ID. If the student doesn't exist, it confirms that the deletion was successful. In this lesson, we covered the process of deleting a student record from a MySQL database using Python. We discussed, first, the importance of understanding database deletions. Also, the necessary steps to connect to the database. Also, how to execute a delete command safely. Finally, how to confirm the deletion of a record. Now put what you've learned into practice. First, modify the delete_student function to delete multiple students by accepting a list of IDs. Also, add error handling to check if the student ID provided for deletion exists before attempting to delete. Also, create a user interface, console-based, that prompts the user to enter a student ID to delete. Finally, implement logging to keep track of deleted student records.